Welcome into the Sporty Show. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Sarah Pararia, joined alongside the one and the only Klinton Cod, wearing the shade.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were not going to mention that. Glad you mentioned it. And, you know, I wore it because I've been listening to a particular song, and this song is taking me back to when I used to be a baby boy. I don't know what you heard about me.
I need to work on the lyrics.
I don't think you can sing the lyrics.
No, come on, man. You guys should help me with the lyrics. Jesus.
We'll save it for karaoke one time.
All right, I know we should definitely. A karaoke on the Sporty Show. Oh, man, that would be lovely, isn't it? Come on, talk to Alex, man.
And as always, Alex Ashmore, how we feeling? How we doing?
Good, yes. No, it's been an exciting week, lots of football. I can't really complain. I mean, I'm a bit gutted there's no longer 3 games a day now, but yeah, today's, I'll take 2 games. That's enough.
Yeah, today is the final day of match day 1. Obviously, we have Georgia and Turkey playing later today, as well as Portugal and Czechia, and we will get into those games. But first, let me introduce as well. Gary is with us. Gary, how we doing?
Doing well today. Hi,
Ooh,
Alex.
all blue, Gary, all blue with the headphones and the top. We're matching.
Gary, all the way from Ghana. 80 saying...
He's pointing. He's got a Sporty Show. Yes, please.
SportyShow. Yeah.
Lovely. We love to see it, Gary. Guys, there's only one place for us to start today, and it's actually going back to yesterday's show. Can we please roll the clip?
Well, looking at that game, I don't think there's a lot to speak about it. If Ukraine does not win the game, then I don't think there's any reason why they should be in the Euros, honestly. I've written off Romania already. I think Romania should be playing in my Sunday league back in Luton. 100%. I know if I put a team together, if I bring in Ben, bring in Lewis, bring in Elias. I mean, Elias, I was told he's shit at football, but trust me, I will put people. Man, I would even get Sara to be my
get is insane after you just said that Elias can't play.
No, I mean, but that's what I was told. I've never seen him play, but somebody gossiped. This what they told me. They said is.
But I'm rubbish. Below this person.
No, I don't know. But if we put up people together, right? I'm sure we would beat Romania easy, like easy. Fam, if I put Sara as a goalkeeper. Okay,
well, that's going to be long. That'll be long for you guys.
No. I'll put you as a goalkeeper, right? Then maybe Ben is also rubbish, but maybe he'll play defense for me, right? I mean, I tested him the other day. Look at how he was breathing hard. He couldn't even make one pass. He couldn't even play the ball straight to me, right? But trust me, if we put these people together, right, all of us here, we will beat Romania easy.
Klinton Cod, what do you have to say?
Wait. Can we skip this topic? Like, can we bring it? Can we take it to another day at least? Like,
nope.
Must we speak about it today? Sarah?
Absolutely, because Romania crushed Ukraine 3-0 in a very, very comfortable win. One of the shocks of the tournament, maybe, because a lot of people had Ukraine as their dark horses with a Champions League winner in their goalkeeper position. Obviously, Mikhailo Mudryk, Artem Dovbyk, who had a wonderful season for Girona, and Klinton Cod put no faith in the Romanians.
But
what do you have to say to the Romanians and the Romanian squad?
Before I speak about Romania, what's that sentence or what's that phrase I thought you guys hear?
No be juju be dead. I got it. Okay.
No be juju be that. Hey, Romania 3-0. Like, so my dear Romanians, if it was possible, I would have loved a Romanian flag to just be behind me just before I make my press statement. My dear Romanians. God, I feel like using the Barack Obama accent.
Yeah.
Dear Romanians.
My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans. Oh, my God. Romania. Romania, what was that about? No, what was that about? Normally, you're supposed to go in there and lose. Oof. Now, why did you decide to turn up? You didn't even let them score you 1 goal. What was that? You don't understand how many people who are my Romanian friends back in England that I said to them, listen, you have no hope. Oof. Like, there is nothing. There is, hey, Romania? Romania? What was... No, I was impressed.
They put on a show.
That was the biggest shock so far in this tournament. I don't know if there is any other shock that we can use in equating what happened yesterday. I mean, let's think about it.
Yeah, no, I think I agree. I mean, overall, the bigger teams have won in Netherlands, England, Spain, Germany, France, so far. But then you look at these, you know, other teams in the table, and I think a lot of people really saw Ukraine being one of those teams that could make a little sneaky run with the players they have and the talent they have.
Now, but listen, Alex, tell me what happened yesterday?
Do you know what I actually think happened? So I remember talking about this yesterday, and you know, we were talking about how Romania could win this game. Could they win this game? I talked about Dragusin, the defence. They had to make life difficult for Ukraine. Was someone listening from that Ukraine camp? Because, yeah, I think you took all the notes that I gave you, really.
I think they heard what Klinton said and said, hold that, I'm going to show up.
You know,
I think Klinton put the fuel under that.
And but then again, I feel like you guys are not giving me enough credit, because if not for what I had said, who knows? It would have been the normal Romania that we would expect.
So they should be thanking you.
No, I feel like they should. No, let's look at the flip side, though. We are looking at the fact that I thought they were going to trash them, but little did they know that I was motivating them. It was me trying to say, Romania, I trust you, but I need to tell you something that you would listen to, and you would go on the pitch and become soldiers.
Nice save. Gary, what do you think about what Klinton had to say yesterday?
Well, if I was on the show yesterday, I would have noted that it was the 24th, but because I was not on the show, what he said this morning has taken the 24th position. So I have a lot to ask him. But seriously, though, where do I begin? Not believe what I was watching, first of all. Secondly, I thought Romania benefited from really poor goalkeeping. And I think after the game, you know, Lunin offered his apologies about the two big howlers. The coach of Ukraine also mentioned that in his words, the results was one nobody. I'm sure Romanians expected the results in hand, you know. But I think that tactically, this is how we want to see our teams play. If you are Romania, press was one of the best in the tournament. That was my thing. They pressed absolutely 90 minutes. So there was nothing flashy about their play. There was no star performer, if I would say. Everybody led from the front, knew exactly what they had to do, and Romania did it. It didn't help that Ukraine, you know, were unsure, were distracted sometimes as well. But yeah, Romania just came to the party, did the basics well. They got, and I think it's well deserved.
I think if you look at what Ukraine needed to do to win this game, you look at their attack, you look at Dovbyk, you look at Mudryk, those players obviously have brilliant quality. Romania just targeted them, stunned them, almost, you know, just, you know, when you've got a leak in a you know, big drum of water, they've just put a stopper over it, put some tape over it. That's what they did. Ukraine just seemed stunned. They seemed unable to deal with any, you know, forward attack. I look at the midfield, Sudakov just, you know, he didn't seem to be able to find that final pass. You know, he didn't find Dovbyk. You know, he was looking for Mudryk. I think Mudryk had his moments, but just couldn't quite find that cutting edge in the final third. But I look at Dragusin and I look at that Romanian defence, and you know, it's brilliant. It's the first time they've scored 3 goals in a European Championship since they beat England in 2000, 3-2. Which hurts me a little bit to say that, but you know, it's a good stat. I think, you know, when you look at that Romania team, I still feel like a broken record with my predictions the day before and then my analysis the day after. They could surprise a few people going forward.
Yeah, your predictions haven't been too spot on, I guess, have they?
Yeah, my fantasy football's going all right, though. I think I'm third in the... Where are you, Klinton, at the moment?
I believe I'm second, I think. Do you know? I think I'm second.
I think, look at the table here.
No. Let's not look at it. Just listen to what I'm... Take my word for it, okay? I believe I'm on second. It's not everything that needs verification, you know?
We also have a long way to go. Fantasy with everyone here. We got a lot of football to watch. But yes, a very shocking win for Romania. Absolutely. All the credit to them. Gary?
Yeah, you know, 3 goals were scored, 2 were goalkeeping mistakes. It's difficult to look beyond past anything but that. Because if it's 1-0, Ukraine are still in the game. And I'm happy that game they said they had a planning meeting. They asked the coach Rebrov to get out of the dressing room so that they could have a players only meeting where they spoke about how poor they were. But it was immediately after that Lunin came out, and came to apologize. So it's fair to extrapolate, it's fair to assume they own their mistakes and they are probably going to do better next game. The problem with them is that it's against Belgium. It's a literally do or die affair. It's literally a do or die affair because Belgium, and I'm sure we're going to come to that, also are going to feel like they've gotten a very, very, very raw deal as well. They would come in a very unforgiving mood in that next game as well against Ukraine. There's your table. You see, there's your table. They have goal difference to play for. They have points to play for. And this could turn out to be one of the more interesting or one of the better groups in the Euros after all, right?
Yeah, I think people thought that this was probably the weakest group, just looking at the teams, and now everything is unfolding, which is...
The fact that the 2 teams that we expect to be at the top are actually below, it's the craziest part of that table I'm looking at. It's crazy, Like I would expect Belgium to be 1. Ukraine, the best 2 countries there have lost their games. And I was watching the game, and the only person who I would believe really impressed me in Ukraine, I was surprised, to be honest, because I'm never a fan of him. He was Mikhailo Mudryk. He's the guy I felt like, he was doing everything possible. Being a player that plays for a very big club in England, he was trying to make a difference. But you could clearly tell that everything, he performed better than I've seen him in Chelsea.
Yeah.
Now, if he had a couple of people who were playing to the level he was playing at yesterday, maybe they would have had, hopes of getting maybe a goal or 2, but it just wasn't happening. And when you watch the Romanians playing, they were playing as if they had something to lose. Like, you would think every single player there had just had a divorce, and they were just coming on the pitch to say, yo, for divorcing me, I'm just pissed. Like, I will break anybody's leg. I will make sure I get the ball. I'm going to that 18-yard box where my wife, who has divorced me, is chilling, and I'm just going to blast any kind of shot possible. Like, these guys were shooting shots outside of the 18. And this is something I've been talking about football, right? Which, when I watch games these days, I'm just angry because everybody is trying to play that Barcelona, that Pep Guardiola, Manchester City, where you want to pass the ball you want to get into the 18-yard box and pass again. No, these guys were not thinking like that. These guys were thinking about, any slight opportunity, I am taking the goddamn shots. And you could see that it yielded a very serious result. Romania beat Ukraine 3-0. Back in Nigeria, that kind of a result, we don't even say nil, because when you say nil sounds too nice. You say 3 kondo. No, don't say with a Canadian accent. That accent sounds like it's a draw. Say 3 kondo.
Okay, if that's a Canadian accent, then you have some work to do, my friend, because that was the furthest thing from a Canadian.
Jesus Christ.
I think almost as well, you talk about how badly Ukraine performed, and you look at how well Romania did. I think that was almost what Ukraine needed to do. They were a bit shell-shocked. They felt a bit timid. I was talking about Sudakov and his inability to get the ball forward. He didn't find Dovbyk in the first 45 minutes with a pass. When you're looking at that centre attacking midfield role, linking up with Dovbyk, we know his ability on the ball. I think they just, like you said, Klinton, they just needed to, get a few shots off. When you're playing a game and you're feeling a bit timid, it's not working in the final third. If you, who knows, you fire a shot off from 25 yards, the goalkeeper has a bit of difficulty with it. It motivates the team. You see,
Absolutely.
oh, maybe we can do this. But, they just didn't seem to get out of gear 1, really. They seemed too timid.
I thought so far, I think that's the game I've enjoyed in this tournament. Like, I felt like this is what I want to see in the Euros. I want to see people taking opportunities. Exactly.
Playing with urgency.
Yes, urgency. Play as if there is you have something to win. You know, like this is exactly why I saw in the game. Like the whole of the game, it was like back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, we were watching the game together, and you
Yeah,
see,
you were jumping up and down. You couldn't believe it.
Exactly. Like this is what I expect games to be. I don't want to watch all this boring stuff where it's like people passing around and then you pass it, take it to the back. No, get the ball to the 18-yard box. If you cannot get there, try to take the shots. I love seeing these things. You know, gone are the days where you see people like Roberto Carlos shooting from midfield. Like, you know, just do something. Get us excited. You don't have to be a striker to shoot. As a midfielder, you don't have to find some kind of true pass to get into the 18-yard box. And that's the reason why we are seeing less. Romania is a total proof that any opportunity outside of the 18-yard box, you never know. Like, look at the first goal. Did you see the angle? No, did you see the angle, Alex?
I mean, you've got to maybe put a little bit of blame on the defence for how it came about, but I think it's a wonderful strike. Like, the precision, I don't think Lunin will want to look back at that too many times.
I don't think he'll look back at this game at all.
But
trying to wipe it from his memory.
You look at that shot, and I put it up where maybe take it down a notch because of the goalkeeping error, but you put it up where there's some of the top strikes, maybe the top strike of the competition so far.
It's been wonderful. Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk about...
Can I just say that, you know, going off on Klinton's point, I think he makes a good point. And I have a feeling that both Romania and Slovakia came into their respective games with this game plan. That, you know what, they have players with the capability of shooting outside the box. They are playing teams who like to hog possession because they are technically, as it were, superior. And so they did better in playing the long balls. You saw with the Slovakia game, and you said many times, especially Benjamin Sesko, you know, how many shots did he hit, including the one that hit the bar as well? I feeling that in this group, knowing that the likes of the guys on the SportyShow are not going to give them the opportunity to, you know, to have their predictions in terms of 1 and 2, they are going to not be passing the ball all around and go a bit unconventional. Look at the heat maps. I mean, sometime go and look at the heat maps again, and you see that it was a clear decision to go on orthodox as well, which sort of makes sense to me. And about the points, you know, if you are talking about loving competitions where results are not predictable, I think so far these Euros, if I'm not mistaken, we've not had a 0-0 so far. It sort of looks like the Premier League, where a game between, if you like, Luton and Burnley, or, you know, all those smaller teams are as exciting as your Man City versus Man United or Chelsea. But I have not seen a boring in these Euros. If I would actually pick, surprisingly, I'd say that the France game underwhelmed, but I'm sure we'll come to that shortly.
Yeah. I mean, let's not get into France just yet, man.
Yeah, we'll get into France shortly, but let's talk about the other two teams in this group with Ukraine and Romania, and that's Belgium. Belgium. Where do we start? Losing 1-0 to Slovakia, and I have a little fun fact statistic here. Belgium, since they finished third at the World Cup in 2018, were knocked out by Switzerland in Group A2 of the 2018-19 Nations League. In the 2020 Euros, they finished in the quarterfinals and got knocked out. In the Nations League in 2020-2021, they lost the semifinal to France. In the World Cup in 2022, they got knocked out in the group stage. In the Nations League in 22-23, they were knocked out again in the Group A4. And now, of the opening match of the Euro 2024 tournament, they are bested by Slovakia. So one thing with Belgium, and we were talking about them, how they're this constant dark horse since that 2018 World Cup, and they made a great run, but this Belgium squad has problems. And I know we are going to get into Romelu Lukaku. I know we are, but one thing I want to say is I'm looking at you, Domenico Tedesco, because I am seeing problems all over the pitch. This is not a Lukaku problem. This is a team problem, Alex. Would you not agree?
I think when you look at the performance, they obviously had their moments. They had their chances. We'll come on to Lukaku. I just think if he could, you know, get a few shots. I mean, obviously, he had his opportunities. I think Klinton and I, Ben and I, producer Ben, were watching this game, screaming at the TV sometimes when Lukaku was through on goal. Not sure how he missed it. I'm not sure I could have done any better. I'm not a very good footballer. But when I look at that Slovakia performance, Slovakia's manager, Francesco Calzona, said, we know we're not the favourites, but what we've got to do is go out there and win or get the victory by any means. The most important thing is not losing. They did just that. They pressured Belgium. You look at the goal. They were pressuring Belgium from their own half. They were Doku putting him under pressure, making him play it out from the back. He was looking for Castagna, but didn't quite find him, forcing that error. And they did what they needed to do. They had a game plan. They turned up. They executed it, and they were brilliant. Slovakia. I think obviously the VAR goals. We'll get into that later. But when I look at that Slovakia performance, I think they're something to be proud of.
Absolutely. Clinton, you laughed at the VAR.
No, you see...
Let's talk about it. Let's get
when I hear VAR, the first thing that comes to mind, I just feel like Lukaku is cursed. No, sorry, Lukaku. No, that's not how I meant it. I feel like he has some level of bad luck.
Yeah.
No, I think that's the right word, right? And this is not the first time. Lukaku has always had this, where maybe in his club, he's producing the goals, he's doing so, the goals are counting. But when it's so important, when it's a point where you need it the most, like he had 2 goals cancelled. And you need to see when they, after he scored, he celebrated, and they take the goal to VAR to check. You could just see his face. You could, when I don't know, whoever is the camera guy, or whoever was controlling the camera going to Lukaku's face, I feel the person deserves 3 years in jail. Because, why would you single out? And it made me feel for him. I saw how much he was trying so hard. Like, Lukaku played out his life on the pitch. You could clearly see that. Let me tell you something about Lukaku, though. When Lukaku is on the pitch, I tell you for free, no matter what, Lukaku puts his mind on the pitch. You could clearly tell that he's trying to help his team. You could tell that he just wants to score the goal. He's just basically like Nunes. When you see Nunes on the pitch, right? You would see, man is playing out his life. He wants to score, but there's just something about Nunes. Nunes, when I feel like in Nigeria, you would say he's your village people, yeah? He would be like only 2 meters away from goal, and he would still hit the woodwork for some reason, right? You would tell that one, you need to go and beg somebody from your village. It might be your great-granddad, maybe your dad has done something and they've caused to say, all your children, they would miss something. We don't know what it is, and maybe it's end up being his football and his goals. Lukaku is nearly the same, but in a whole different way. You will see him using his body to get, finding the passes, trying to use his body to shade defenders away. And look at the goal he scored, right? That came from the guy that was substituted when Doku left, right? I can't remember the guy's name now, but
Luis Abanda.
Yeah, that's the one. Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one, right? He came and he kind of like changed the game. I'm not going to go into Doku yet because I expected more from Doku, right? The Doku I used to know from Manchester City wasn't the one I saw yesterday.
There's a couple players from Man City that aren't playing.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to mention the other one because he's one of the people I said, after God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, you have Lionel Messi, you have Toni Kroos, you have the other one, and maybe Kevin De Bruyne will still come at some point in that number. Yeah, but when Doku was substituted, right? This guy, the pass came, and I don't know how he managed to get that ball controlled. Obviously, he hit his arm, and if I was the ref, trust me, with that kind of... I understand you would always say the rule is the rule, yeah? And you can't go against the rule. You have to go according to what football says, the regulations and everything that's there. But for him to have fought for that ball, controlled it, and got into the 18-yard box for Lukaku to strike, oh man,
It's heartbreaking.
I mean, it is.
And it wasn't intentional.
It wasn't intentional,
so
exactly.
Obviously not intentional. But we were talking about it off air where the balls now have the sensory.
Oh yes.
So you can see on the scale it.
It went. Yeah, I saw that too.
So it definitely hit him. But it was so unintentional.
I mean, just give them that one goal, man. If I was a ref, trust me, as a black ref, I would have given.
Oh, here we are.
No.
Here we go.
I would have been like, no, we've cancelled the first one. He's able to control that ball. He did so well. He got into the 18-yard box. Lukaku scored a very beautiful goal.
Yeah.
Let me just give it to them. I'm not going to care about the backlash I'm going to face. They're not going to call me back and cancel the goal. If I've given the goal, it's a goal, right? What's come towards, they're going to revoke my license for like 2 weeks or something.
I'm not sure UEFA are going to give you a license, given your recent refereeing comments.
It's fine. Just let him have it. Gary, talk to me a little bit about this Belgian side, specifically Kevin De Bruyne.
I think nothing summed up the Kevin De Bruyne mood and the Southern. After the game, there was a bit of footage. He went over to his kids and consoled them. The kids were inconsolable, and I think that's essentially the Belgian thing. If you are a fan of Belgium, then you are say 10 years. We were 10 years in like 2017. It means that you used to with this national team is so close yet so far. You are the nearly men. It's almost ever. Yes, we got it, and it's difficult to understand why this golden. I'm hesitating to say golden generation because with Eden Hazard, they're really the golden generation, and Marani Fellaini and that squad. I don't know. This is like golden generation 1.25 or 2.0. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, this Belgian team need to get something out. I spent a bit of last night after, while reviewing the games, thinking, is it because they also get talented team that they didn't have the track record of delivering, i.e. Martinez? Is that a factor? Have they not gone out to look for a win-some manager for all? A manager who is ruthless, who has that X factor about him? Or if you drill down all the performances over the years, would you actually see moments where the players also did not take responsibility and deliver when they was to, like we saw yesterday with Lukaku? So it's a lot of. It must be frustrating to be a Belgium fan, and then of course we have to come down to Romelu himself. Look, let's make no mistake. He's had a consistent career scoring at every club he's played for. His numbers, Sarah, are insane. But he's the sort of player, he's in that of football players who will be remembered for, those players who will be remembered for one bad thing they did. Like Zinedine Zidane can do everything, but the casual football watcher who is not so nuanced, Zinedine Zidane, who is that? Oh yeah, the headbutt guy, right?
Yeah, that's so
that
true.
that's so that
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that sort of thing. Or some player who, if it's Nigeria, what's his name of this player? He played great for Everton for seasons on end. He's one of
Oh, it will
the
be.
best African scorers. Aigbeni,
Oh, Aibuni. Okay,
Yakubu
sorry.
Aigbeni. Yes, he will be remembered. The ball from about 4 yards in front of the goal in the
Oh
2014
yes,
World
yes,
Cup.
yes, yes, yes. Oh no, speaking about
Yes,
that
the
guy,
Nigerian player.
Gary, we would we see
Yeah.
Nigeria for generations to come. We are still praying for that guy. We are still, in fact, there are guys that are fasting that God, there's some courses that are still being laid, right? People are still renewing them every single
So,
year.
and if you look at Yakubu Aigbeni and what he did for Nigeria, he bailed out like 90% of the time. In fact, if you look at the goals he scored, the bulk of them were game-winning goals, and that for Everton. But he will be remembered for that horror miss. Lukaku is looking like his career is playing out. He's prone to such performances. All right. Here's the backdrop. Tedesco arrived at this beating in 14 matches. They have an attacking plan catering to Lukaku, and you can't be a coach and not have a plan catering to his strengths because you know what he can do. What can he do? He's big, he's tall, he can bully opposition. If he doesn't score, he can lay it and give a good assist. He can strike a mean ball from distance. He can strike from close range. And then, yet, the same player skilled enough to provide a team with good amount of shots every game, the numbers show it, but he lacks that X factor tricky moment. Look, no man has scored more goals for Belgium's national team than Lukaku. I want that to sink in. Belgium have not had a poor international history in the last 30. He spent last season at Roma on loan from Chelsea. With everything that he had the presence of mind to deliver there. Only Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal has more international goals Lukaku is in men Europeans competition. His scoring rate is 85 in 15 games. I'm not one to be sentimental, but I do think that I agree with Klinton here when I say when it is Lukaku has to go back home to his village because things to sort out.
The village.
No, but for real, trust me, if you're from Africa, you would know that these things are very possible. And knowing that Lukaku, I'm sure he has some African traits.
It's not normal, though. That's what we say here. It's not normal.
But you
It's
see,
not
but
normal.
I was telling them that she said it, no be juju be that. That is clear juju.
No be juju be
there's
that.
nothing you can explain. And when he was talking about the Ayewele miss, right, back in whenever he did that blunder, even Nigerian artists were making songs about that guy, that particular goal. In fact, there's a rapper called MI, who's like probably one of our biggest rappers in Africa. MI, he did a line there. He was like, keep missing yo, Yakubu. Like that, just that line alone.
Yeah.
So whenever you hear the word miss, it was the first person that came to your head is Yakubu. I just thought to just...
I think with Lukaku, obviously he's a cracking player. We know he can perform. But he scored, as Gary said, 85 goals for Belgium in 116 games. Only 6 of those have come, 11 in total have come at major competitions. Mm-hmm. So that's not exactly a brilliant record. 74 goals. Obviously qualifiers and friendlies aren't as important. Qualifiers, nation leagues are. But when you're only scoring 11 out of 85 goals at your major competitions, you maybe sometimes have to look and think, is there something about the big stage? When Belgium get there, they seem to freeze a little bit. Obviously, they got close in 2018, but recently they've just really not lived up to the hype.
I think Lukaku is just the target for most people. Like, everyone will blame everything on him. So I think the pressure has, grown over the years. Whenever Belgium has a problem, he's the face.
Yeah.
Whether it's his fault or not. And because,
but then
like
again,
Gary mentioned, some of these mistakes,
Yeah.
they're horrendous. But for me, last night's game was not a Lukaku problem. I mean, it was. He should have scored, but that was an entire team of...
Sarah, I don't mean to cut you when you talk about there's Lukaku being the face of whatever mischief happens to Belgium or any team. I don't think it's just a Lukaku thing though. It happens in England.
No, we know.
I mean, this is like a very...
No, but this isn't news. This isn't news. What you're saying isn't news. What I'm saying, that's not my point. We're not talking about England. This is normal. Let's not beat around the bush. I'm just saying that I think maybe the reason why he doesn't perform as much is because the weight is on his shoulders. I'm just saying, maybe.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about players who had horrible misses yesterday, Kylian Mbappe made a tragic miss. Oh.
By the way, why are we I feel like Kylian Mbappe and France, we need to we need to get an intro. We've not finished with Belgium just yet. Sorry, Sarah.
We actually are.
No, because there's somebody we've not mentioned. There's somebody very, very important that we're yet to mention. Why are we not talking about Trossard, for Christ's sake? Trossard. What? Trossard is meant to be one of the best in Arsenal currently. The moment Trossard comes into the game, something changed.
I said it was a team. It was a
no,
team
no,
issue.
no. It was a team, but we mentioned Lukaku. Yeah, and we went into Lukaku for a long period of time. Come on, George, talk to me. Am I speaking your mind?
Now,
of course, you've always been our George. Right? Well, we are trying to settle dispute between myself and Sarah. You're always the one that comes into George, right? What I'm saying is, we've spoken about Kevin De Bruyne now. I mean, we spent about 2 minutes speaking about Kevin. We went into Lukaku. We spent about 2 hours speaking about Lukaku, and now we are forgetting that there are other 2. I mean, I spent today 40 seconds speaking about Doku, who I expected a lot from.
The whole team. We want to pick apart the whole team. We can close. Forget France, Portugal. I don't want to hear it. Talk about Belgium. That's fine. Go for it.
Oh my God, I'm happy I finally got a reaction of Sarah. Sarah, literally, I mean, it's one
The
thing
whole
left,
team was bad for Belgium.
No,
Trossard,
wait,
Castagna, your keeper,
but listen,
everyone, Mangala, all of them. Horrible. It was a bad team performance. But do you want to break down everyone?
No, I don't want to break down everyone. But why you mentioned that it was a bad, but mention the people we looked up to. There are people I looked at the game and I wanted to see magic happen. I wanted to see. I wasn't even expecting something for some reason. In as much as Kevin De Bruyne is world class, I wasn't.
He's not with Belgium, right?
No. I was expecting the playmakers. Kevin De Bruyne is just a guy who's a visionary, right? He gets the ball. He's looking for the next person to give it to go score the goal, right? If he has an opportunity, he would score as well, right? But yesterday, you could clearly see that he was trying to find and these guys, Doku got the ball, Trossard got the ball. These are crazy wingers playing for their different clubs, and when they play, they yield results. What happened yesterday to Trossard? What happens to Trossard? What happened? You know, these guys, they will get the ball, they will take on defenders. I can't think about any time Trossard or Doku was able to pass through a defender.
There's no, like, brotherhood with this club. There's no culture. Like, it seems like they grabbed a bunch of guys off the street, decent players in their own respect, but you get them to play together and you're like, have you ever once played football with one another? Like, I feel, my opinion, that there is such a disconnect between the players on this team.
It does feel a bit almost when you're on the PlayStation, you're picking your ultimate team on FIFA. They've obviously picked some really good players. You know, Kevin De Bruyne is fantastic. Lukaku's unbelievable. Trossard, we've seen what he can do at Arsenal. But, you know, I know, Klinton, you're a big fan of Doku. Like, these players...
And I am. So that's why I'm so disappointed. And I feel like...
you know what I mean? There's, like, a connection missing.
And when you just look at that front four, when you think about the fact that Kevin De Bruyne is at the middle, you have Doku on the left. Oh, sorry, Doku was on the right, yeah? And then Trossard was on... And then you have Lukaku right in front. These four, I would expect them to be on the pitch without any other person behind, just four of them on the pitch, and they should be able to destroy whoever they are facing. And then yesterday was literally the opposite. Like, why? You know, it's killing me inside. I was expecting a show. It wasn't a thing of, apart from them winning the game. First of all, I mean, we did our predictions. Everybody predicted Belgium to win. When we looked at the lineup, we looked at the people they were playing against, right? I expected them to win. But for me, it wasn't about the win at this point. It was about the fact that you're going to win, but you're also going to entertain me. I want to watch Doku. I want to watch Trossard get on defenders, like running in and getting the ball into. I saw none of that. And I understand. Obviously, it makes sense to say, you know, there was just something not connecting in the game. And maybe these guys are just, you felt like they were random guys on the street picked up to come play together. And that's exactly what they did. And it still kills me inside that game, I waited for it. We're going to go into France now because, you know,
are you sure?
All right.
With all due respect.
Have you opened? Okay,
do we have your permission? Are you sure?
Yes. Let's go to France now because there's a lot to say about France too.
All right, with Klinton Codd's permission, we are jumping.
Sarah, if I could, the final thing, if I could, Bob, with everything that was being said, I think it's interesting to know that a top Dutch team psychologist said in one of the papers that he recommends that before this Belgian team call it a day in terms of their careers and being put together, would suggest that if it were possible, they were put into an informal camp where they just vibe and chill and don't do any training. You know, just to break down
they have to bond.
The barriers.
That, you know, yes,
they have to bond.
Yes.
Yeah. And that he believes that they are, he called them high functioning achievers. He also suggested that the team, not the individuals, the team has imposter syndrome and that they needed to bond, like go to a party, chill. He even suggested colloquially that they go to an island and just go and chill for a couple of days.
I would agree with that, you know.
Proper training. Yeah, so maybe it's just that.
I feel, you know, it's
maybe they take life too seriously. Maybe they take life too seriously.
No, maybe. Like, they should even take them to a swimming pool. Like, do first to get to, you know, they just do, get high together. I know they are not allowed to smoke weed, but, like, no, but wait. Get them to smoke, you know, open. I mean, I've never smoked before, but according to what people said to me about weed, they say when you smoke weed, right? Now, I'm not trying to encourage anybody to smoke weed, okay? But what I'm saying is, when people smoke weed, according to the stories I've heard, people tend to open up. People tend to be more real. People, you know, smoke maybe a blunt, and then, you know, maybe 2 shots of Jack Daniels or, what's it called? I always like gin and tonic. Gin and tonic does it. Before I get on the pitch, as a footballer, I try gin and tonic because it lets me be free.
Before he gets on the pitch,
No, facts. I feel like Trossard, Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne, right? All the Doku, they need at least 2 blunts each.
Oh my God.
And then start opening up to the...
Nutrition 101.
You know, facts. Like, if I was their nutritionist, trust me, I would get permission from the Football Federation and say, yo, these players from Belgium, they need this. And I'm going to make sure they measure it in a way that it's not going to affect their playing or whatever. So they're able to relate with themselves. Let them speak about their wives. Let them speak about, you know, just be friends, man. Jesus Christ.
All right.
You know,
well,
you
let's.
know, if it
Guys,
were-
we
if
need
it
to
were
talk
an
about
Adam
France. Sorry,
Sandler
I gotta
movie.
push you. I gotta push you.
Okay, all
We're
right,
done
cool,
with
cool,
Belgium.
cool.
Sorry,
Okay,
we've
all
talked
right,
about
cool.
them for half an hour.
All right, cool.
Let's talk about France, because just before we jumped on live here in Madrid at 1 p.m. GMT time, it was about an hour before that Kylian Mbappe will be missing the next two group stage matches against Netherlands and Poland. Obviously, he had a major clash last night with defender Danzo, smashing his nose, breaking it. There was blood everywhere. But before we get into Kylian Mbappe, I think we have to speak about the takeaway of this match, and that is N'Golo Kante.
Hey, N'Golo Kante, N'Golo. Wait, no, why is it that when I'm singing, Alex doesn't like, Alex, sing with us. Alex, sing with us. You'll be acting like, I know you are English, but you've lived in all these countries, and I don't know, there's something about English people, though. They don't let English leave them for a day. Before I finish in Madrid, I'm going to make sure that you are, at least, you have some 40% African in you. Let's sing it again. N'Golo Kante. N'Golo. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? Yo, fam. N'Golo Kante.
N'Golo Kante is back.
Listen, N'Golo Kante does not deserve to be in Saudi Arabia. No. 100%, man.
But he made that decision.
I mean, he's an African man. He went to find money. Every African man needs cash, right? Just go. The good thing is he's still performing in a very high level.
Everybody
like the
needs
game
cash,
he
my
played
brother.
Sorry?
Everybody needs cash.
Yeah.
Everybody needs money, my brother.
Well, Gary, the Bible says that money, it's not money is the root. It's the love of money is the root of all evil. But something I've realized is us Africans, we love money even more. Let's be sincere with ourselves, Gary. No, they do like this. I know we are on TV, but fam, let's be real, yeah? There are so many things. There is a level of love for money that Africans have that I don't see it in this Western part. And N'Golo Kante, no matter how much he's been in France, even if he grew up in France, you could tell that intuition is still in him. Man needed to go Saudi Arabia.
No, but I disagree. Now, fact number one.
Yes.
N'Golo Kante drives the cheapest car in every squad. I mean,
yes,
what's the name of the
because
car?
he's a very humble guy.
Yes, exactly.
But
So,
all the money he's making, is he dashing it out to the public, Gary? Is it not in his bank account?
No, he's giving it to his friends. He's giving it to his friends.
How do you know? Are you his cashier?
know?
Are you his bank account manager? No, you are not. You work with SportyTV.
I mean, what does N'Golo look? Does N'Golo Kante look like somebody who would buy an expensive bit of bling or shirt or
No.
He's not flashy, is what you're
he's
saying.
not. He's not flashy, but it doesn't mean he's dashing his money away.
Absolutely, we don't know. But let's not talk about his money. Let's talk about
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. When it comes, you see, I just proved something to you, right? I got into money. Look at myself and Gary. We're already into money. Right. We've forgotten that you guys are here, right? Yes, let's discuss cash. The truth is, N'Golo Kante, he shouldn't be. He should continue with what he was doing here in Europe. With that kind of performance, with France yesterday, we need to see it. Now, since he's been to Saudi, when was the last time you watched an N'Golo Kante play? I mean, you probably can't remember.
He played for France probably in 2022.
Exactly, and this is the kind of class that we are missing. And you see how humble he is, how calm he is. He's not like the typical average footballer that we know. And man is still playing to that high level. Yesterday, he was the man of the match.
He was our man of the match.
I mean, he is everybody's man of the match. Like, yo.
You saw, I think, when you look at his performance, I get flashbacks to, and it's more than just glimpses of the reason why Chelsea signed him. You see him at Leicester that season, they won the Premier League. He was everywhere. There's that common joke that, 70% of the world is covered by water, the rest is covered by...
Did you see the heat map last night? He was in from corner to corner. He covered the whole pitch.
The way he's reaching balls, he's winning second balls, he's winning
the save
duels.
he made there.
Gary, I was just going to, speak to Gary. Obviously, you guys saw the game. He saw the game as well. Like, did you see how much it was? There was this attack that
That's
they
what
had.
I just said. The way he came from
nowhere. I was like,
from the outside.
That's another situation of no be
from the outside.
No be juju.
Yeah, from the outside, the pace on this man.
Where did he come out from?
We all love N'Golo Kante, guys. Let's see what manager Didier Deschamps and N'Golo Kante had to say after the match.
is not doing well. He is with the medical staff, and I have a lot of media questions to come here, so I cannot tell you anything else. But his nose got badly hit, that's for sure. We need to check that out, but it seems quite complicated, which is really very unfortunate for us tonight.
No, just a good feeling. I want to give my best for the team. So far, it's going well, and I hope to carry on. But it's just the start of the competition, and we need to carry on for the second game and the last games as well.
Kante might be one of the most likable footballers in all of the world. Is there anyone more likable than N'Golo? Like, he just brings a smile to your face.
N'Golo Kante feels like the guy I would punch 3 times.
Don't
And he would, no, I will not punch him. No, I will not punch him. Obviously, you know I'm not violent. Come on, this is Spain. I don't want to be deported, man. Fam, I've only just arrived, man. Jesus, I'm still looking at all the beautiful women everywhere. You want me to go punch N'Golo Kante? And then when I want to renew my stay here, they will tell me, whoa, nigga, you need to go back to England, bro. Nah, I ain't doing all of that. But I'm just telling you his personality. He feels like the person that you would punch, and he would say, thank you.
Oh.
he would say, thank you. And you would say, N'Golo, you know you're very stupid, yeah? Oh, really? Thank you. He's so... Every woman deserves an N'Golo Kante, man.
Oh.
Nah, honestly, he's just so...
Preach.
No, for real. The guy, let's leave the football, right? It's just who he is. He just
We're
does...
acting like we know him on a personal level.
No, yeah, but that's the crazy thing. It's because of his attitude, both on and off the pitch. Like, you could clearly tell that he's the kind of person that he will go above and beyond for anything, and he's doing it at the pitch at the same time. Like, he's there, he's playing out his heart, and he's doing it. It's not like Lukaku, who I was saying earlier, that he's playing out his heart, but the village people are also working and playing out their own hearts back in the village. So obviously there's some level of clash. But with N'Golo Kante, there's no village people anywhere. There's no juju or anything. He's just playing with his heart. He's doing it so well. He comes out the pitch, and you could see how humble he is. And everybody is... I'm sure his teammates will be happy to be around him. He's just a phenomenal guy.
Yeah.
I think when you look at his performances, he's one of those players that, obviously yesterday he had a standout performance, he was fantastic, but on the days that maybe he isn't playing to his top level, it is sort of the analogy I would use is if, you know, you have a table with 4 legs, you take away the 3rd leg, that's like taking away Kante.
Yeah.
You know, you can really notice it when he's not there, even if he's not the most present, even if he's not winning every ball left, right and centre, he's still there. He's not necessarily managing the midfield, but he's picking, you know, pockets. He's winning balls here. He's finding passes on the right and the left. He's everywhere, and he's a fantastic player, and it was great to see a performance like that from him last night.
He was by far the standout player for France, and obviously some people were very shocked by the call-up from Didier Deschamps, but I'm so pleased that he's there. Let's talk about Didier Deschamps and what he had to say. That was following the match, obviously, regarding Kylian Mbappe, because he did, in fact, break his nose. As I mentioned, he will be missing the next 2 matches. So, Gary, I'm going to ask you, without Mbappe in these 2 upcoming matches against Netherlands and Poland, who is going to slide into that position? Will it be Randal Kolo Muani or Olivier Giroud?
They are playing the Netherlands, I believe, is on Friday. So
That is Friday, yeah.
looking at the profile Dutch player, I would go Olivier Giroud first. Why? Because of the aerial threat he brings. The Dutch at the back are quite big and tall. You know, you have Virgil van Dijk kind of player. I don't think Kolo Muani has the experience yet at this level to deal with what Virgil van Dijk brings to the and the rest of the Dutch defense. Olivier Giroud link up better than Kolo Muani as well. You know, he has the capacity to drop a bit deeper to link and allow sales. And France have all the qualities to allow Olivier Giroud to be a foil for somebody else to do. That's why I'll play Olivier Giroud. Also, he has the potential for, you know, the spectacular. He's the overall Lukaku. He's your big game player. This is a game where France need to put the group to bed. On Friday, they need to put the group to bed, and that qualification is done on Friday. And Kolo Muani for the future. But in a game like this, and knowing, I mean, not personally, obviously, but knowing how he goes, caution first, I think I'll be surprised if he plays Koulibaly ahead of Giroud. I'll be surprised.
Do you guys think it will be Olivier Giroud as well, Alex?
I think when you look at Giroud's stats, and I think he's a fantastic player, obviously known for his time at Arsenal and Chelsea, but still this season he's been brilliant. 17 goals this season. He's still a top world-class striker, and I think, like Gary said about the Dutch defence, they're physical in stature, they're tall. Look at Van Dijk, that partnership of Van Dijk and Giroud. If they're pairing up against each other, that could be a wonderful battle to see. So I think, in terms of also, I think when you look at the attack for France, I think it's brilliant. You've got so many options, but it felt maybe a little bit lacking in fluidity. I think maybe there was obviously a few players playing it out of their natural position yesterday. I think, Giroud adds that, maybe something, that plan B, or that different option, that if the main plan isn't working, they can go to Giroud, and he's brilliant, obviously, in the air. He can hold the ball up, he can shoot from distance, and I think Giroud is the sensible option and the best option to go for.
Yeah.
Alex, you have the starting 11 in front of you to reference. You have the starting 11 on the screen. Maybe you can speak to that. I don't know.
I mean, if I was going to lay my 1 cent about this, I feel like Giroud.
Yeah.
You guys know how much of a fan I am of Giroud, and there's only one reason. I feel like Giroud, he's the kind of player that the least you expect, that's when he delivers, right?
Yes.
He's like a spirit. The point where there are some places where you would not expect Giroud to be. He's there and he's giving you a goal, right? And that's the only reason why, if I was a coach, I would always just try. I always believe in Giroud. He's that. Yesterday they were already winning when he came in, and he had this chance that he was meant to bury, and for some reason he didn't do it. Now, some people would say, okay, maybe he's big. I mean, I was pissed off. I was angry that he didn't bury that one. But then again, it doesn't mean I'm going to lose up to say, no, this is the one reason why you can't start. I still believe that Giroud is still that guy. He still has that capacity, or he still plays at that level where he would deliver when you least expect. And if Kylian Mbappe is not going to start, which I think he will, I don't know what it is they are saying. Kylian Mbappe is that guy that would probably play with one leg if possible. Let's say because you could tell that Kylian Mbappe just wants the record. He just wants to be up there. Mm. He just wants to be on the pitch. He wants to make the name for himself. He doesn't want any kind of hurt in that drive that he has, because right now he's seen as the best player in the world. He wants to keep banging in the goals in this kind of serious tournament. So he would not want to be the one who is not on the pitch when he's meant to be. So you'll be surprised on Friday to see him. But if he's not there, who's the next person I would love to see there? Definitely Giroud.
I think also it's a sensible decision from France.
Yeah.
If, say, maybe Mbappe isn't fit, I don't think you need to risk him for the rest of the group stage. France can win those games without him. Get him fit for the knockout stages and make sure he's fully healthy, and then go from there.
Sorry, Gary, just before you come in again.
Didn't he tweet something about... Yeah, sure. Didn't he tweet something about a mask?
He said, what should I wear, as a mask? But this was earlier this morning, or rather last night, I think, after he left the hospital around 1 a.m. And then 2 hours ago, French publication Le Figaro came out and said he will be missing the next 2 matches. So I think the timeline makes sense, but I think what Klinton's saying as well makes sense.
It's probably a medical precaution, isn't it?
Pardon me?
It's a medical precaution.
It's probably a medical...
Yeah, of course, because if you have a broken nose, I think it's more about the fact that there's a lot of blood rushing to this area when you're running as well, and your circulatory system, it's moving, right? And then if he gets hit again, and you're going to go in for these 50-50s, 100%. This is the Euro.
And obviously, he's going to be the target most of the time.
Exactly.
But then we are speaking about Mbappe and the injury. Why are we not speaking about Griezmann? Because I feel like Griezmann's one was even more fatal. Like, you saw the way he landed and hit himself on the side board that's just,
the
on the pitch area.
Audience.
And I felt like he should even be the one that... Because Griezmann is also a top player.
Yeah.
Mbappe is a nose injury, and I see Mbappe still being on the pitch easy, playing to the level that we know as Mbappe. I don't think that nose thing would stop Mbappe from being Mbappe if he wants to be Mbappe on the Mbappe pitch, right? Damn, look, I should be a rapper, you know. Look at how I'm using Mbappe. Even Gary's even impressed. Gary's like, oh, damn, man, what are you doing in the studio? Get into the music studio and start dishing out your rhymes and your bars, man. Yo, but...
Also, when you talk about Mbappe, and you mentioned it there, I think teams will look at that injury and see it as a weakness in a way. They will target him. They will go for those 50-50s with a little bit extra, oomph into that tackle. So I think it's a wise decision to leave him out for the remainder of these group games, because the last thing France want is getting to the semi-finals and the final and they can't call upon Mbappe.
But you just mentioned earlier, you said, or was it you? I can't remember now. Who, obviously I'm having some early signs of dementia, but I reject it in Jesus' name. Now, if with Mbappe on the pitch, Mbappe, Griezmann, the French squad, they did not even score a goal. It was an own goal yesterday. Yeah. Do you think? And I mean, mind you, this is which team? I can't even remember the team they are playing. Jesus
Austria.
Christ! I mean, Austria. Okay. Their next game is going to be against a more serious team.
Yeah.
Right? This is Netherlands. Yes, they do not need Mbappe to win a game. This is what we would expect from a team like France. But with Mbappe on the pitch and Griezmann on the pitch, who are playing at the highest level of football currently, they could not secure a goal against Austria. It took Mbappe to try doing a cross and a defender to do a very nasty mistake for France to actually win a game. Do you think against Netherlands they don't need Mbappe for real?
Poland can score on Netherlands, France can score on Netherlands. That's it.
They have also started slow. You look at the 2018 World Cup, they won it, but that first game they started a bit sluggishly.
Spain lost to Switzerland and then won the World Cup in 2010.
Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia in the first game of the World Cup.
But you see, I mean, with what we've seen in this tournament so far, I'm actually surprised that you guys still keep going to the past. I'm one of the guys that I refuse to believe the past. I believe in what the players are currently. I don't go based on...
Yeah, but okay, so what I said currently, Poland scored on Netherlands first. So Netherlands can be breached.
Oh, yes, absolutely,
that
yes.
game together.
Yes,
They
yes.
were not
No, I understand.
I know they are a higher stature than, of course, Austria, but I think France can still get the job done after what I saw from Netherlands' performance. Mind you, all these first games, I feel like the jitters are flowing hard throughout the tournament right now. I think we had a lot of very interesting results. I think match day 2, things are going to start flowing.
Let's see.
Let's see. Well, let's talk about the final matches for match day 1, and let's start off with Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal taking on Czechia.
Wait, we've not started speaking about that.
Sorry, you wanted to talk about Belgium for half an hour. This is your world, Klinton, and we are just passing through. Gary, talk to me about this Portugal side. Does Cristiano Ronaldo get the start? Roberto Martinez does favor him.
He does favor him. If I'm Martinez, look, there's so many dynamics in making a decision like that. First of all, you're looking at the quality of the opposition. One, that should trump everything else. And then you look at the personnel you need to deploy. What do Portugal want to achieve? One, they want to just kill this game as early as possible. Is Ronaldo, like I said, last week, is he willing to take instruction to the extent that he's going to be a team player or is going to be him first? That will be my consideration before I start my main man, Jigga. You know what I'm saying? Look, if they can pick the vibes in that dressing room, in that camp, he's willing to play to the team and, give up the ball, put himself second, lay off the balls and all that. Of course, you're going to start him because you speak to footballers and they tell you that when they get into the tunnel before the game starts, it's a thing. Footballers I've spoken to all the time say it. When they look on the other side of the tunnel and they see ex-big name player and they see Messi and they see Ronaldo there, like we have just said, if Netherlands on the other side of the tunnel and they see France lining up as good as they are without Mbappe, there's a bit of hope that comes into the team there. So you fear football, the fear in Czechia immediately, even before the game starts. And so you start Cristiano. However, you also want the players to feel comfortable to express themselves. Because this Portugal team, as we may find out when France played the Netherlands Sunday, that without Mbappe, that probably without Cristiano, they will play so freely score so freely, bring out a part of them that we may not see because they feel like the aura, the size, the stature of Cristiano is sitting on them. So everybody knows I'm a Cristiano guy, so I would want him. But if his team above in a group like this, where you need 3 points off the board, look, if Portugal get the 3 points today, 95% I think they are going through with the kind of opposition they are facing. I would start Cristiano, but if he's any tendency of not being a team player, please hook him out after 55 or 60 minutes.
I mean, we saw the friendly just before the Euro started, and we saw the level. I mean, I understand it's not the same aura when it comes to friendlies and the main competition itself. And I told you guys the other day here that when I saw that, what the goal Ronaldo scored, even Gary, I think Gary was on here when we were speaking about that particular goal. It gave me that mindset of, I think Ronaldo is definitely ready for the Euros. He's fit enough. He still has that quality that we know Ronaldo has. But like he said, which is a very big point, if you have that person of that caliber, it might kind of swallow the level the rest of them want to play at. And in his absence, I would probably imagine everybody playing to their full potential where they don't have this great man that's known worldwide and everybody wants to see and everybody wants to play according to you. Because I could imagine, I imagine being a player and Ronaldo is up front, right? I probably want to play to impress Ronaldo in the first place. I probably want to get every single pass to Ronaldo, right? And in the process of trying to do that, I might limit my own ability of producing something on the pitch. Why? Because I'm trying to make Ronaldo look even better than me because of who Ronaldo is. So it actually does make sense. I mean, look at the teams who are impressing us today. These are teams where you hardly know anyone who is like a global superstar. Like Romania is a very typical example. Right? Slovakia, Serbia.
Albania scores against Italy.
All of these countries, like how many...
The East.
These people came for this tournament like... We are not going to take any rubbish. I look at Romania, right? With the kind of game they played, I would not be surprised if Romania beats England. I don't know how to. This might be me trying to swallow a very hard pill, but trust me. Sorry. Look at Alex. Alex is looking at me like, fam, you mad, bruv? Don't say that no more, fam.
I think to touch on what you were saying about Ronaldo, obviously he's a big-time player. He's arguably the best to ever play the game, arguably. And I think when you look at a player, it can work both ways. The other team will see him and think, wow, I'm playing against Ronaldo. They could freeze up or could motivate them. But then also we talked about his performances in the recent friendlies. We have seen more of a Ronaldo that maybe gets his other teammates involved, that maybe is looking for that pass.
The mentality shift.
Yeah, it's changed. That's true.
But that's what Gary was referencing.
That's true.
If you're going to get that Ronaldo, that's all about me. Like Gary said, put him on the bench. But if you're going to get this guy who's going to create, who's going to help out his players, crosses and focus on the team, then he's going to absolutely be beneficial. Not to mention, like we've said, he's a penalty taker. He has an absolute great free kick. You want him on for those set play pieces as well. Corners, because he's so tall. But, yeah, if it comes to penalties, who's taking it? It's Cristiano Ronaldo, absolutely.
He doesn't have a great free kick. Sarah, he does not have a free kick record. No, he doesn't.
He used to.
They also, like that Ronaldo
He doesn't
does well,
now.
I think.
No, he doesn't now. I'm going to agree with Gary, though. Gary,
he sends
fact
it
is...
over all the time.
I think that quality of Ronaldo when it comes to set pieces, free kicks, we're not going to give it to him now. Maybe back in the days...
We're going to give it to Bernardo Silva. Put Ronaldo in the area, and then he'll get there. But that's what I mean. There's...
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
I'm good. Go
please,
for it.
Please, I'm so sorry.
No, go for it.
No, I was just going to say, obviously, I'm seeing that we don't have so much time, but, we are dwelling so much on Ronaldo and, thinking about some other key players like Leao. I mean, Bernardo Silva is obviously a very key, serious player in the squad, but it's somebody, obviously, I'm looking forward to watching today as well. It's Rafael Leao, who is a top guy. Like I said, he's the one guy that when he plays, just the fact that when he knows he wants to do something crazy, that smile that he puts up, there's this smile that whenever you want to use somebody for sacrifice and the person has just, okay, only Africans would understand this. I mean, please, when I talk about juju and sacrifice, I have never done any of these things. Gary, I'm just talking from Nollywood movies, right? But when they've brought the sacrifice and you've seen that it's ready, there's this smile that the native doctor or the voodoo man has. and it's like, oh boy, today we're about to make money with this big head or something, right? Rafael Leao puts up that smile when he knows he's about to take 3. I mean, just look at, you see that smile on screen right now, yeah? When he's about to take, he would now even make it wider. You will see the full 32 or the teeth. There is like, yeah, and then when he does it, that if he's successful, it's always magical, and that's something I'm hoping to see in today's game, right? I know we have Ronaldo, we have Bernardo Silva on the other end, but this guy, we should not underestimate what he's capable of doing on the pitch.
No, I think he's absolutely due a breakthrough performance with Portugal, because he hasn't really had that yet. We've seen his capabilities at AC Milan, but when it comes to the national team, whether it's getting playing time or just not performing at the level we know we can, I think he's one player in this tournament that could have an absolute ball, especially because I think Portugal can go to the semis at least.
And they've got options. Bruno Fernandes, João Cancelo.
Wow,
This Portugal team is...
I mean,
Salo Ramos.
Portugal team has enough to be winning the Euros, if you ask me. I see them, I still... Okay, maybe the difference between them and France is the fact that we've said it on this show so many times, that France could find a third team. They have so many players, they would find a third team, and the third team is capable of getting them maybe to the semi-finals or even the finals, right? With Portugal, they might not have up to like third or fourth team, but the team that they have, they are solid enough to win them the Euros. They have arguably the best players in the world. I'm saying arguably because obviously he's not. The best is obviously the best is Lionel Messi. Everybody knows that. God knows that. Jesus knows that. The Holy Ghost, everybody, including Gary, who's a Ronaldo guy, knows Messi is the real stuff, right? But if you have all these teams, every single player in the Portugal team, these are people who are playing to high levels in their individual club. If they are not stealing this cup or this title, then I wouldn't... I just hope that what's been happening to the big team does not happen to them. Obviously, like what we say with France, not even scoring a goal. Like, that game was a draw to me. That mistaken goal, I'm not counting it. Yes, on the record, it's a 3 points, but real life, they did not perform to the level we would have thought. But yeah, Sarah has said that is just the first game, and maybe things are still going to change.
Somebody just texted me to ask why we are not talking Czechia, and it's a one-sided discussion. So yeah, let me just to keep it balanced. My friend just texted me to say why we're not talking about Czechia.
I mean, tell your friend that we're just about going there, though, so they don't think that we are just the Portuguese people, okay?
Learn our lesson. Haven't we learned our lesson from all the other teams who have shown, that they can prove something at these Euros? So yeah, I mean, because again I've wanted Ronaldo to prove. I've taken time to look at some of the opposition, and I've noticed that Czechia like to play a high press, right? And Portugal obviously possess some very quick players like Klinton and Alex. Portugal can resist be able to get the space and then punish small mistakes. Another good thing about Czechia is that, like Slovakia and Romania, when they are settled out of possession, they are very solid defensively. Okay, so somebody who is what they call the trigger is West Ham's Thomas Tuchel. He plays a vital part in both sides of the game. He wins headers and makes important tackles. So that's something I think we should look out for as well. And if you look at the way they have played since the manager, Ivan Hasek, came in I think January it was as well, they take advantage of the transition after crosses. Now, we do know that Portugal, because of the way they play, they tend to get a lot of crosses and stuff like that. So this is where Czechia can hit them and hurt them, taking advantage of the transition after crosses or turnovers in the air to fashion chances for their own team. Then the fourth thing that I'd like to say that we should look out for, and free tips for those who are going to bet on SportyBet as well. They use long balls to their wingers to cross the ball into the box. Think of the Man United sides of Sir Alex Ferguson's era, and you are right. That's what they like to do. They have the highest cross completion during qualifying of all the teams that made it to Euro 2024. And you can bet that they would like to use that against Portugal today.
I think the concern for me is that they finished second in Group E in qualifications on goal differential to Albania, but to the likes of Albania, Poland, Moldova, and Faroe Islands, they haven't played anyone in their friendlies that has been, of a higher stature than that, basically. And now you're taking on Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal. We are talking about one of the best teams in the world right now, top 10 for sure. So I'm curious if that will you know, mentally affect the players? How will that translate on the pitch? But as Gary mentioned, we have seen these upsets. It is possible because the pressure is, of course, on Portugal. So it's obviously everyone's thinking, Portugal can win this. But hey, we've seen upsets. It's just which way is it going to translate?
Exactly, absolutely.
But I'll be honest, I don't think Portugal is going to be the team that's going to mess up. I think we are going to see a dominating performance. I feel like this is a really solid team.
I think
sorry, go on.
the Czechs will struggle is you look at their last 15 performances in competitive matches, they've only kept 4 clean sheets, and that was against Moldova and the Faroe Islands.
This is what I'm saying.
With all due respect to Moldova and the Faroe Islands, when you're only able to keep clean sheets against those sort of teams, and you're coming up against a team like Portugal with the attacking prowess that we've talked about, Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, you know, it doesn't stop Rafael Leao. I just think that attacking prowess from Portugal will be too much. And like you said, I agree. I think they won't be a team to slip up. I can see them putting on a dominant performance.
Yeah, I think they're missing the one and the late, not the late, the former Peter Cech in net once upon a time, eh? He was massive for them, of course. But let's get our predictions for this match. Can we get the graphic, please? Because I think we've all taken different scorelines, I think, for this. I've gone 2-0 to Portugal. We haven't had too many games go over 3 goals in this tournament, only 2. So I'm going to go for the 2-0. Klinton, 3-1. Given the Czechs some love here with 1 goal. Alex is going 3-0. Gary as well going 3-1. Alex Bagley going 3-1. Okay, so we have 3 of the same scores. That was my mistake there. And the viewers are going 4-1. Okay, lots of goals, guys. We've had 2 matches only that have been, like I said, above 3 goals. So this is going to be very interesting. Finally, let's talk about the final match, Georgia and Turkey. Arda Güler versus Kavica Kvaratskhelia, 2 star boys of 2 dark horse team. Oh, Gary, give it to me. What are we talking?
No, I was just happy you got the pronunciation of the name at the first. How many times have you been practicing that?
I've been talking about him all season. When people can't pronounce his name, it's not that hard of a name, to be honest. It just has a lot of consonants.
Okay, help me here. Help me here, because I always go for his first name.
Oh, you go for the Kvaradona. Okay, Kavica.
I never. Kavica.
Kvaratskhelia.
Kai! Kvaratskhelia.
Kvaratskhelia.
You hit that T. Kvaratskhelia. Yeah. You got it. It's not bad. It's just long. It's just long.
Kavat@kelia.com. Like, you know, easy stuff.
All right, Gary, talk to me a little bit about this match. I'm losing my voice here, and what you're expecting.
Sorry, some water. I mean, look, I don't think it's going to be a Romania, Romania
Slaughtering.
Belgium kind of game. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be tight. But Turkey have too much quality to allow Georgia to get into this game and win it. I think Turkey are going to be flat out this one. I'm predicting a 2-0 halftime score for Turkey and probably for it to end 3-0. Yeah, I think Turkey have too much in the tank for them.
I know this is Georgia's obviously first time qualifying for this tournament, which gives them such a boost in general, because I think we have found out that they are the lowest team in terms of percentage to win the tournament. There's no pressure on this team whatsoever. They're happy to be here, and whatever happens will happen. But Turkey, a constant kind of upset when we see them in the Euros. Is that not true, Alex?
No, I think when you think about those Turkey teams of old, and I think we've always maybe given them a chance, but it's been a slim one. I think something that's really impressed me this season is Hakan Çalhanoğlu's almost a transition into that deeper midfielder with Simone Inzaghi, and I look at Arda Güler. It's hard not to talk about Arda Güler. You know,
but he missed a lot of the season.
I think when you talk about the season as a whole, he missed a lot of it.
Yeah.
But that latter part of the season, 6 goals in 12 games is, for someone of his age, coming into a team like Real Madrid, the pressure that's on him. He's got the nation's shoulders on him.
Yeah.
When you talk about that pressure, he is their star boy. He's playing for Real Madrid. And you know, he did brilliantly. He handles the pressure well. I've had the pleasure and experience to be, close to him and see how he deals with that pressure and how he is with the media. And, you know, you see likeness to Jude Bellingham. He's a mature head. He talks well. He plays well. And yeah, I think this could be his breakout tournament. But then Turkey, they have the experience as well. I talked about Hakan Çalhanoğlu. You know, we know how good he is from set pieces, and I think Turkey will be too much for Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me,
You have to say Georgia at this point,
no,
because
no,
you've
no.
been wrong about everything at this point.
No, you see, just by paper, I would say Turkey should be going home with a very comfortable win. However, because of the upsets we've seen so far, especially, you know, we would always use Romania as very typical examples, Slovakia, I mean, Serbia could have been one of them, if not for the fact that England, the English people were just, you know, slightly lucky having Jude Bellingham in their team. You know, who would have been speaking about them as well.
But more slander on the English here.
Yeah, maybe because you're here, man. Stop wearing this bow tie. Maybe the day you stop wearing the bow tie, I'll stop slandering the English people.
That'll be after we've won the Euros.
No, you're definitely not going to win it. Trust me, you're winning you're losing the next game, man. You're going to stop wearing that stuff. But yeah, I would. But then, because of, we've always said it here in football, anything can happen. You might be surprised. Georgia might decide to say, "Yo, everyone is giving the win to Turkey. Let's see if we can end this thing like Romania." You just never know. They could go out there and, you know, just do the unthinkable, really. But like I said, by paper, I'm giving it to Turkey.
All right. Well, the finals of match day 1 will happen tonight, so I hope you all enjoy them. Match day 2 starts again tomorrow, and we are back in the cycle. So make sure you guys follow SportyTV on all of our socials, Twitter, YouTube. We are here every day that there is a match in this tournament. Twitter, Instagram, all of it, socials, we are there. And a reminder, Thursday, we are going live, and Sporty Live will also be previewing the Spain and Italy match, as well as doing a post-game analysis. Gary, thank you for joining us, as always, and bringing the good vibes. Alex, Klinton, it's always a pleasure. We will be back again tomorrow, same time, same place.
Ebwe. You guys should be saying Ebwe too.
I can't with this thing today.